Bakerville is open. Yes, indeed. Another live stream before we go live again on the main show. Just an hour and 10 minutes from now. I've got some cool woo for us to look over today. So yes, thank you for tuning in. Kick back, relax, and groovy tunes, right?
How dare you!
You be a man.
How dare you!
You be a man.
How dare you!
You be a man.
I can't even keep a straight face. Shouldn't laugh at my own stuff, right? Just should not do that. That is like so wrong, so wrong. But welcome back, ladies and gents, and yes, on the screen right now you can see tonight's special guest is our boy, Kevin McCairn. And we're going to be getting into World War Z. I know, right? Who knew? But it's going to be the perfect follow-up from last night's show. And I want to give a big shout out before we get started and do anything. Let me fix the chat room. Right? Hang on then. Let me see here. What's going on here this time? It always does this now, doesn't it? Pesky thing. Let's see. What? Yep, there we go. And just like that, magic. So yeah, first and foremost, can I thank Algorithm and the wonderful Connie. Finally, you know, we put a voice to the name, and so brilliant talking to those two people. And I think tonight's show is going to be the perfect follow-up from all of the conversation we had yesterday, and where I just came up with a random kind of thing and threw it out there. That maybe the only thing that makes anything this year make any kind of sense is if there's something going on that we don't recognise. We'll be talking about that with Kevin McCairn today, World War Z. Be sure to tune in for that. I'm looking forward to it. Really like hanging out with him. He's a cool guy, super, super intelligent, and that does it for me. That's two of the boxes ticked that I definitely look for. And tonight, we're going to be talking bigger picture stuff. Kevin, being a neurologist, he really drills down, pardon the pun, into the brain. But tonight, we're going to be stepping back and taking a look at everything may or may not tie together, because in the end of the day, all we can do is provide and let you decide, right? So into the chat room we go. Remember, set it to live chat. See you. Yeah, you thought I didn't notice. I noticed. Get it to live chat. So we've got Jason in there. How you doing, brother? Hope you're feeling well. Cheryl's kicking about. Good on you, Cheryl. We've got Buzzacino. Why you're not in blue, Buzz, it's beyond me. We've got Bearded Felicia. And of course, again, I'm going to remind people, 5th of October, Felicia will be with us. And if you like a little bit of woo, maybe today's show, Felicia, you're going to like this one. This is a weird one. So, St. Marionette, good to see you. The Wookie, Bearded, in there twice. Maybe he's like got a doppelganger, who knows. We got Mojo. Scrolling up, Jose Ramon Francis. Who else we got here? We had a new one first today. JSIMO. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Jay. We're going to call you Jay. You were first. Congratulations. We've got Rorschach. She was second. He was second. Absolutely no idea. They were second. Always safer with they nowadays, don't you find? I find that anyway. I thought the pyramids had the ancient Venusian architecture about them. That takes us nicely, absolutely nicely, to where we're going today, doesn't it? Because we're going to be talking about Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, for anyone who doesn't know, I mean, this guy is the guy. I mean, if I could get a time machine, I think probably, right up there, competing for where I would go. I don't know, it's not that far back in time, right? But I wouldn't have minded picking the mind of this genius Absolute genius. So before we get to the strange kind of woo that the FBI were banding about our friend Tesla here, let's just recap who he was. Nikola Tesla was a Serbian American inventor, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, and a futurist, best known for his contributions to the design of modern alternating current, the AC electrical supply system. I think that kind of under-eggs his achievements there. Yep, sure, absolutely. You know, you compare that with the DC and Edison going around at the time and trying to really make Tesla look like a maniac. You know, I'm doing all horrific host of things to animals to try and prove his point, but alternating current won out in the end of the day. But he done so much more. Oh, so much more. So it says born and raised in the Austrian Empire. Tesla studied engineering and physics in the 1870s without receiving a degree, gaining practical experience in the early 1800s working in telephony and at the Continental Edison in the new electrical power industry. Now, in 1884, he emigrated to the United States where he became a naturalized citizen. He worked for a short time at the Edison Machine Works in New York before he struck out on his own. And with the help of partners to finance the market his ideas, Tesla set up laboratories and companies in New York to develop a range of electrical and mechanical devices. Now, his alternating current AC induction motor and related polyphase AC patents, licensed by Westinghouse Electric in 1888, earned him a considerable amount of money and became the cornerstone of the polyphase system, which the company eventually marketed. Okay, so we've got Tesla, we've got this genius inventor. We can see that he had no academic qualifications to speak of, but when it came to the practicalities, the workings of things, all up there and then some. Was he tapping into that Akashic Records? Was he one of these people? You know, you look back at Da Vinci as well. He was designing things way ahead of his time. Like almost he'd had a glimpse of the future. I don't know where Tesla was getting it all from, but it's the headline that I found today that I thought, yep, that'll do. That there is our story for chilling out to before we go on to the main show. And it's Tesla. Okay, guilty pleasure. And I apologise to anyone out there that aren't quite as deep into the Tesla character as I am. Maybe this isn't for you, but that's okay. 'Cause that's how we roll here. We just chill out and we'll get into the audience. We'll see what people are saying there. But today we're going to take a look at what the FBI were saying. The FBI? Now, I remember in recent times we've had the whole kind of Donald Trump's uncle. We found out he was one of the people that was responsible for going to the New Yorker hotel after Nikola Tesla had passed away. And there's a big discrepancy between the amount of information which was contained in big, huge, like treasure chests. Tesla had it all documented, and there was so many, X amount of chests that were meant to be there. And then after, I think it was John Trump is his name, after he had been tasked to go and get these boxes of information, some went missing. Now, that's interesting enough. You could probably do about 2 or 3 shows on that alone. But the connection with the FBI came back up again today. And, you know, the kind of websites I go to, Unexplained Mysteries, that's one of them. I want you to check this out here. Tesla was from Venus, claims the FBI document. And I say the FBI document. I add in the because any document that contains information about Tesla from Venus, it has to be given the kind of word in front of it, right? Capitals, because it's dead important. The FBI document. And we're going to look at it. We're actually going to look at the document itself. But just to get an idea of what they're talking about here. And hey, how cool is the new camera setup, right? I feel like a real streamer now. You see all these real streamers, only I don't have that crazy green screen behind me. No, but it's pretty cool, right? Means Anne can keep watching her TV. Everyone's happy. I don't need to worry about shoes. Not so far anyway. If you're new to the stream, there's a thing with shoes. It's not that I'm into feet, not my thing. But let's just say sometimes you see them flying by me. So a rather peculiar claim concerning Nikola Tesla, that's one way of putting it, has been found in the archives of the FBI's official website. Now, there are few people who have contributed more to the widespread implementation of electricity in the modern world than Tesla, a man whose accolades range from pioneering the use of AC to, and I don't mean air conditioning, alternating current, to conducting experiments designed to transmit electricity wirelessly through the air. Part of me thinks we're moving back towards that type of model. Maybe that's going to be part of the kind of sci-fi world that we're moving into. I don't know. Can but hope, right? They'll find other ways to hook us in and rook us. But back in 1905, he submitted a patent entitled The Art of Transmitting Electrical Energy through the through the natural medium, which was founded on his belief that the Earth itself is a gigantic electrical generator that could be harnessed to provide practically limitless amounts of electricity. And I got a little bit distracted there, right? Because Buzz had tagged me. And Buzz is saying, I share Tesla's birthday. His power was science. Mine is words. Well, I can't argue with you there, dude. Can't argue with you, but that's a pretty cool, famous birthday. Like, to share it with Nikola Tesla. Bit envious, must admit. So there's no denying that Tesla was way ahead of his time. However, it seems that there were some out there who believed that his penchant for science and electricity had a more otherworldly origin. Now remember, this is a guy that claimed he was speaking to Martians, or at least he got a message from Martians. I'm not saying that he was literally in communication with aliens, because I wasn't there. But he was tapping into something, that's for sure. He calls it the ether, I would imagine. And a declassified FBI document entitled Interplanetary Sessions Newsletter and dated June the 14th, 1957, there's a paragraph which claims, quite bizarrely, that Tesla came from the planet Venus. I mean, if I was to come on here and just randomly make up that Tesla was from Venus, I would get laughed off the tinterwebs, right? And let's face it, I've put some pretty crazy stuff out there from time to time. Never gone this far. But that's what the FBI were sitting talking about back in 1957. What? I know, it's crazy. So it says here, and I'll blow it up a bit. There we go. The space people have visited the Tesla engineers many times, it reads, and have told us that Tesla was a Venusian, brought to this planet as a baby in 1856 and left with Mr. and Mrs. Tesla in a remote mountain province in what is now, or what was, Yugoslavia, probably Serbia, Kosovo, whatever side of the divide it falls on now. And this apparent revelation was allegedly received by somebody named Margaret Storm, who, according to the file, had been assigned to work with the space people. Holy shimoly. Wait till Corey Good finds out. Oh, hang on a minute. That's all right, Corey. She was before your time. Don't worry about it. Another galactical LARPer, by the sounds of it. Who knew that people were LARPing their ass off back in the 50s? Dang. LARPing was a thing even then. So she'd been tasked with writing a book about Tesla's life and had received information on him through a device that he had teleported into 1938 to facilitate interplanetary communication. Now, if all this sounds ridiculously far-fetched, then that's because it most certainly is. However, it is interesting that the FBI would actually have a document in its archives detailing something like this. Epoch Times, yeah, I know, probably not the best source in the world to go to, but it's good woo, and it takes us to the FBI vault. Okay? Super secret, sneaky beaky stuff here. And no, I don't have an insider called D. I don't have that insider. I'm sorry. I've only got web links, web pages, people I come across in the real world. And if that ain't good enough for you, well, that's all you're getting. So it says here, we have not issued a newsletter since May the 1st, 1956, because of all the LARPers out there. And we had no space news in which we could consider authentic. However, now we have some good news to pass along to you. Lecture by George Van Tassel and Dan Fry in the ballroom of the Hotel Diplomat, 110 West 43rd Street, New York, blah, blah, blah. So George Van Tassel operates the Giant Rock Spaceport and Airport and has been the host of 4 annual spacecraft conventions. He's the author of 2 books, I Rode a Flying Saucer, and Into This World, and Out Again. He is also the publisher of Proceedings magazine, usually issued monthly. Back issues of Proceedings have been reprinted in 1 volume that gives the address, irrelevant, California. Dan Fry is the author of The White Sands Incident. In this book, he tells the story of a trip which he made in a flying saucer from a desert spot on the White Sands Proving Grounds in New Mexico to New York City and return in 32 minutes. Dang, dude. So Dan Fry and another gentleman are now en route to New York by automobile. Well, that's a bit of an anticlimax, isn't it? I was expecting maybe they were en route to Alpha Centauri via, I don't know, some kind of warp drive technology. That would have been cooler, okay? Wasn't what I was expecting, but hey, at least it's factual, it's down to earth. It's plausible that 2 men were in a car. That much I'm on board with. George Van Tassel and Art Aho. He's not an Aho, he's an Aho. Will arrive at Mr. Aho's plane, or they'll arrive in his plane. I'm sorry for being silly. I'm sorry. I take it back. I'll stop. I'll be deadly serious, okay? They all plan to be in New York City at Hotel Diplomat on June 17th. They will probably be heard next week on Long John's programme on radio station WOR from midnight to 5:30 in the morning. Nightly, except Sundays. That sounds like an early forerunner of Coast to Coast, isn't it? That's like, George Norrie, you weren't the first, pal. Damn, I thought Clyde Lewis was doing like something new when he was going 5 hours straight in the woo. 9:53. Psh, nothing new under the sun, eh? Nothing new. This letter will not reach you in time to sight flying saucers over New York on the night of June 13th from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. But there will be a full-scale operation of flying saucers over all American areas on July the 1st. This will be in 3 phases as follows. New York areas, July the 1st, 9 a.m. Washington, D.C., 9:25. And North America areas after 9:25. This is pretty wild, is it not? So general American areas, blah, blah, blah. Second phase, some areas as above begin at 12 o'clock midday. Third phase, full-scale operations over all American areas. This sounds like something clean out of a David Wilcock presentation. See if we find out he's been lifting old documents and just like updating them. I'll be very disappointed. Imagine my surprise if I come across anything foul or blue in this. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be happy. So let's see. Also, please note that George King has also published back issues of Cosmic Voice in 1 volume, price $1 plus postage. That's pretty damn good going. Telling you, what's that worth today? Probably worth quite a big amount. $1 back in the 50s? Who knows? I have no idea. This is beyond doubt the finest buy of saucer messages that we know of. They've got buy there in inverted quotes. Makes you wonder if the FBI are monitoring the PSYOPs and the operatives that they've put out there to blow smoke up people's tuchus even away back then. Go figure. George King is considered the best telepathic contact which the space people have, although George Van Tassel is the finest that we have in America. Who knew that there was like competing types of stuff going on there, you know? World's best channeler. 1953 was a good year. I want to go back. Margaret Storm has been assigned to certain work with the space people as follows. She's writing a book, Return of the Dove, the story of life of Nikola Tesla, scientist, and the part his inventions will play in the new age. Much of the data for this book has been supplied to Mrs. Storm through transcripts received on the Tesla set, a radio-type machine invented by Tesla in 1938 for interplanetary communication. This is absolutely golden woo. Now, Tesla passed away in 1943, and his engineers did not build the Tesla set until after his passing away. It was placed in operation in 1950, and since that time, the Tesla engineers have been in close touch with spaceships. The space people have visited the Tesla engineers many times and have told us that Tesla was a Venusian, brought to the planet as a baby in 1856 and left with Mr. and Mrs. Tesla in a remote mountain province we now call Yugoslavia. I'm just going to read a bit more. It says a biography of Tesla was published in 1944, and it can provide blah, 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 or it can be probably bought from your local library or bookstore. It is entitled something by John J. O'Neill, the science editor of the New York Herald. And Mr. O'Neill has since passed away, and the book gives no information about Tesla's connection with the space people, a fact which was not revealed until 1950. Very interesting. People using Nikola Tesla to LARP. That's just wrong. Told you, some things never change, folks. Who knew? The book also gives many wrong impressions of Tesla because Mr. O'Neill's occult knowledge was limited. However, it is it is worth reading because it gives much technical information about the electrical engineering which Mrs. Storm will be obliged to omit in her book because she has such an abundance of material to present. Now, it had not been intended to mention Mrs. Storm's work at this time, but the public will be offered a sneak peek in a small mimeographed resume of the book, according to publication arrangements now being made. And this development came about unexpectedly because of the extremely critical condition of world affairs, engendered by the continuance of nuclear tests and the fact that Mrs. Storm could not possibly have the finished book ready for the publishers before July 3rd, even with the aid of a small miracle. This material has now been presented as a paper before certain California groups where announcement of the Tesla news was received with tremendous enthusiasm. This is definitely a bit out there. Remember, this is coming from vault.fbi.gov, and it's the files we've got on Tesla. Now, anything you see online, at some point somewhere, somebody's decided we can see it. Now, that's not to rubbish any of this, but it's something you've always got to keep in your mind, because if it's the super secret sauce that we're looking for, that all of us would love to uncover, what's the chances they would leave it for people like any of us to find in the vault or the archive? Now, I know these clowns, they might appear to be really, really stupid at times, right? But when there's little nuggets like this, and I mean, come on, this is pretty cool woo. I get it. I'm not trying to kind of put it down or anything, but still, it's out there. You have to agree. So let's see what else it says here. Mrs. Storm will present the material to certain small groups in the New York area within the next few weeks, and probably space groups in other sections will also cooperate by offering it to their members. Are we reading about the propagation of a psyop here? Is that what it sounds like to you? Because that's what it feels like to me. It's almost talking about how they're going to disseminate the information to all the various like UFO and space and New Age enthusiasts. And they're going to do it by ruining the reputation of Nikola Tesla into the bargain. Very weird. Let's see. Our world situation is not hopeless by any means. And I'll blow this up so you can definitely see what I'm saying here. Although the space people bluntly inform us that as a race we are too lazy. Spiritually, we must become more potent if we are to hold this planet together against the efforts of the dark force to blow it to bits. So let us look for good news. Look for good news from England, where the messages of George King. Don't tell me there was somebody LARPing about saying he was the king. Some things definitely don't change if that's happening, okay? You seen that cat on YouTube? Oh, all rise the king. We've got the king in here. Trust me, our king is better than the pretend king. Have last reached, or have at last reached the scientists, the press, and the Queen. Whoa. Look for good news from England, where the messages of George King have at last reached the scientists, the press, and the head of the reptilians. That's the other way you can read that. So look out for good news from Calvin Gervin of California, who is one of the best space contacts in this country. And look for more good news. Is this like good news? Look for good news. Is that like some kind of creepy espionage code for something? And look for good news at the Van Tassel Dan Fry lecture on June the 20th. We hope to see all of you there. The ballroom seats about 1,200, and we must put every effort to get behind these speakers and support them. Then on July the 1st, let us keep our eyes on the skies. Ooh, that's a right good phrase, that one. The space people are going to make every effort, giving us all of a chance to see the ships. This is classic David Wilcock stuff. I'm telling you that right now. Make of that what you will. However, if the military uses jets, see here they are setting up, if it doesn't happen. However, if the military uses jets in large numbers to chase the spaceships, we may not see them. Come out this day and see the invisible spaceships, everyone. Extraordinary claims like that really do require some extraordinary evidence. Any evidence would be good. However, the military, yep, as citizens, you can urge the government to be more cordial to our visitors. Mr. Government, come on, guys. Come on, man. Don't be flying those jets up there. Come on, man. Let our ET brothers come. Ain't happening. Yeah. Cordial conversation with the government. When did that ever change anything? When did that become? Damn it, they hid that from us. That's how you do it. Now we know. Let's all go down to Downing Street for a cordial conversation with old Bojo down there, right? It says now for some unpleasant news. This has been transmitted from Mars Sector 8. Holy big holy. This just went full blue chicken, didn't it? So the FBI have got documents that are talking about people, whoever they are. Margaret and John Storm. So these people are in contact with the aliens and things. They received a message from Mars Sector 8. Now, does that not sound like something if you close your eyes a minute? Yeah, one day I was just sitting there and we received a message from Mars Sector 8. That sounds like Project Scamelot. You know it does. I know where they got the idea from now. So we have to begin paying off our karmic debts in the form of diseases, very cheery, which cannot be abated unless we discontinue the nuclear experiments. However, to help all of us through this coming period of epidemics and space people, or these space people have placed 4 space stations in orbit around the Earth. They will start magnetizing the Earth at midnight on July the 21st. That sounds problematic. And I don't think it happened, folks. I think I can safely say this didn't happen. And throughout meditation, we can absorb these healing rays. The Martians have clearly indicated that they're just about fed up with our depravity on this planet. Apparently, even space people can become impatient. That comes from sincerely, Margaret and John Storm. Were they predicting a storm? Damn. Some things definitely never, ever change. I'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Told you, Veltman. I told you, Veltman. I have chased it back. Oh, you and John Brisson, you do some good work, my friend. But I tell you what, man, we're chasing these LARPers back in time now. Tell me, Lee, if you'd closed your eyes and listened to that, ain't that something straight from the annals of Project Camel Toe? Boom.
How dare you?
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
How dare you?
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Yes, indeedy. Going back in time to chase these LARPers. They're everywhere, man. They're everywhere. Big shout out to Lee Veltman in the chat room. I've got to check out the podcast he just done with Charlie Robinson and Weaving Spiders, I believe. And I think I'm going to be appearing on a show soon, the very same show. I don't really do guest appearances much because I don't really have anything to be interviewed about. But hey, 2 guys hanging, 3 guys hanging. You know what it's like. The conversation gets going, and I've got plenty to talk about. Plenty to talk about without getting into any time traveling LARPers. Austin Steintard. But aside from that, how are you all doing out there? I thought I'd launch into that quickly today. Get through the Tesla kind of story. I had no idea it was going to take us into some terrible LARPy time loop. Hashtag LARP time hack. Lee, will that do? Can we use that? It's not a very good one, but it'll do, right? But I hope you are all doing well out there. And Lee Veltman, check out his channel. Lee, I hope you can post a link to your channels in there. If you can, that'd be awesome. And then people can go and watch We've Read the Documents, the John and Lee show. I see Marty, who's usually in our chat room here. She watches you guys all the time. And I love the stuff he's do. Really love it. Good work. That's all I can say. It's. I tell you what, man. You don't get thanked for it, don't you know? Hell no, man. It just makes people hate you when you try to get to the truth of things. And I think that's part of the problem, you know. Is it truth you're after, or is it infotainment? And you got to make a decision, because there's definitely a big chasm between the two. Me, I'm an infotainer. Sometimes we get close to the truth. I don't know. Who knows, right? But we've got Lee in there, Felicia, Just hearing about some great woo. I tell you what, that was some pretty out there woo, right? Pretty out there. But it did sound like it was a psyop at one point. It was like seeing behind the scenes of how a grift works. You know, we'll get all the various conferences. We'll make sure we bombard the people at the conferences with this information. That book won't be out in time, but we'll make sure we've got this little presentation ready so people know the book's coming. It definitely. There you go, folks. There's Lee's channel in the chat room. I'll bring it up on here if I can. Hopefully it'll let me bring it up. No, it's going to go to the studio. Usual. I'll get it though. That's okay. We've read. There you go. Brilliant channel. And I will go there. Yep. Hodgie! Hodgie, how you doing, man? Dang, dude. And Hodgie is obviously Steve Hodgson, paranormal investigator. You see him coming on with myself on the Kev Baker show. He's been on with myself and Bill and Travis. Great guy. Talking of Travis, he's got as a good guest lined up this weekend for Warrior Mode. We're going to be joined by this cat here, Eddie Perez. He's a producer, US Grammy Award winning American producer. Eddie Perez is seen by many as a major influence to the original UK. No, this isn't the dude. That can't be him. No, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Maybe it is the right one. I think it. No. Producer, I think it is. Hang on. There we go. There we go. I told you I had the wrong one. See? I've done that one time before. Eddie Perez is a Los Angeles-based director, second unit director and stunt coordinator, and he is a multiple award winner for his short film, The Test of Time, and a 4-time nominee, 3-time Emmy winner for Shameless. Now, Shameless, that is, you're either going to love it or hate it. The UK version came out first, and it was just about, like, just your really typical kind of working class family and all the kind of shenanigans that went on around it with the family and the friends. And then it went to the US and it was huge as well. So we've got him coming on. And not only that, he also won the SAG Award for Outstanding Performance by a Stunt Ensemble on Star Trek Into the Darkness. So yeah, that's going to be this Sunday on Warrior Mode. Yeah, stepping the game up over there, I'm telling you. Remember to subscribe to We've Read the Documents. And what else have we got going on in here? I do like the Tesla advanced tech theories. Oh, absolutely did. Absolutely. There's a lot about that guy. It'd be interesting to know what we haven't been told about what he was working on. You know? What was it he said as well? Vibration and frequency. That's what it's all about. The numbers 3, 6, and 9. You basically unlock everything in the universe. I'm paraphrasing. But I don't want to just go and dig it up and look like a Tesla genius by quoting from Google, you know? But yeah, definitely very interesting. And do you think with AI, it's an interesting thought, you know, but do you think with the advancements in AI and it finding more and more, producing more and more, coming up with text, like whole new chemicals, whole new physics, is there going to be another Tesla? Like, is there going to be another physical human born into the world that really thinks so far out of the ordinary to stand out in a world that's going to have a lot of AI-driven technologies? I mean, even here at YouTube, they're winding back further on the humans. It's going more machine learning, and everything is going more that way. So is there going to be any more Teslas out there? Or is the next Tesla going to be, oh, dare I say it, a synthetic human that is AI installed in it? I'm just throwing it out there. You know, what what better scientist could you have than an AI synthetic human, right? If you're into that kind of thing. But could they? Are we going to? Does AI mean that we're going to be thinking for ourselves even less? I think it does. I do. I think it does. I think it's going to kill creation because most stuff, the AI is going to come up with things, and where's going to be where's the drive? Where's the impetus for us to create at that point? Weird, right? Damn. Whoa. Stop getting so deep and kind of philosophical like half an hour before a show, Kev. What's that all about? Probably, yeah. It's weird, Weapon, isn't it? It's weird. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from humans. I mean, we've got us to where we are. But you see what I'm saying, though? I mean, things are going to change. Like, they're going to be totally eradicated over time when you think about how it's all going to change under AI. And it's coming, it's here in many ways, And that's not me all doomy gloomy, and it's not me telling you it's the best thing since sliced bread. There'll be good and a bad side to it. And talking about that, I've got a good guest that is going to be coming on. Wait till I get his name now. Hang on. Charlie Robinson mentioned him the other night. Ken Ami. He's written a book about the whole transhumanist type thing. He looks into transhumanism in Hollywood, all that kind of things. So I think this is going to be a good show. I haven't got a date for it yet, but it's going to happen. So Buzz says maybe some of the abductions and crossbreeding is to implant other Teslas in our society. Oh, I hope I'm here to see them, dude. I hope I'm here to see them. Absolutely. That'd be cool, right? What happened to all those Indigo kids that you used to hear about? Lee, was that more LARPing? And I'm being serious. Did any of them come to anything? Did they? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I remember talking about them. Hey, Lee, there you go. Buzz, no problem, man. I'm going to be dishing out more spanners here soon because we're getting up near 5,000 subscribers. So I want to establish a good hardcore kind of mod squad. I like that. The mod squad before the channel takes off, because it's going to take off. We're gonna get a lucky video one day soon. Either that, or I'll just have to join the land of the LARPers just to get some subs, right? I'm only joking. People like Lee Veltman would skin me alive. You see, I'm glad I've got people like Lee Veltman and John Brisson and people like that around me, because it keeps people like me on my toes, and it means I have to really go out there and be really careful who I subject you people to. So we need people like Lee, yes. Thanks for the spanners. I'm just full of spanners, me, right? Just full of it. They don't call me a tool for nothing. In fact, they don't even call me a tool. I'm just looking around to make sure Anne and Kevin weren't calling me a tool there. But listen, I'm not going to hang about too much longer. Whoa, John says, Lee, have you seen Marco Rodin talking about vortex mathematics? Well, I know Lee can't talk, but he'll answer you in the chat. It was Joe Joseph showed me Marco Rodin, and Joe was really close to getting Marco on the show one time. And Joe's just about ready to be doing a bit of broadcasting again. Maybe if I send some, I don't know, if I light a fire under his douche. You get me? Get him going. But he might be able to get us in touch with him. That'd be pretty cool. That whole vortex stuff, toroidal fields, yep. Definite. The vortex and scalar mathematics. It's above my pay grade as well, Lee, but damn, it makes for good listening, right? Scalar, Kev, it's scalar. Yes. Anything else happening in the chat room? I'm trying to think what else might be happening around here. Tomorrow night on the show, and it might come up on tonight's show as well. You know, me and Nano Girl like to look at the Rothschild publication, right? We usually look at the covers and what they're talking about. Well, this could be an interesting one. We'll probably come into the conversation tonight, and we'll probably feature on Scott's show with him tomorrow. Now, give me a moment, folks. We'll be back in just a second. There we go, there we go. Sorry about that, folks. I had to go and do something for Annie there. Yeah, I was talking about an article that might come up tonight, probably come up tomorrow. This is from the Rothschilds, right? The Economist. Britain's armed forces get ready for a revolution. It's always worth looking at what the Rothschilds are saying, right? But thank you for being here today. If you do one thing, please, please, please go and check out We've Read the Documents. Subscribe to that channel, and you'll make me a very, very happy guy. Anyone else out there, if you want me to look at your channel and give you a shout out, just send it through. Remember, check out Jason, Pollination, Algorithm. I've probably missed some out, but hey, plenty more streams to give you a shout out. So listen, hope you're having a good day. I hope you can join me over on the Kev Baker Show real soon, when I'm joined by Kevin McCairn, and we're going to be talking about World War Z. It's going to be good, it's going to be informative, it's going to be fun as well, and we'll get all the latest from Kevin, coming to us all the way from Japan. So listen, I'll be back tomorrow with a pre-show stream ahead of Scotty Lopez coming on. So keep it real out there, folks, and remember, you are all awesome. I'm out of here. Remember, Kevin McCairn, he likes to live stream, so I'm not sure, but he may simulcast the show. Please feel free to check that out. If not, I'll be on tfrlive.com.